Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Confidence is not something you're born with, it's something you build. It's like a muscle, you either develop it or you let it shrink. But here's the truth, most of us are unknowingly sabotaging our own confidence. And if you don't correct it, you'll stay stuck in a cycle of doubt and frustration. Today, I want to share with you 8 mistakes that are killing your confidence and how to avoid them. You're waiting for the perfect moment to start, the perfect conditions to improve. The problem is, perfection is a myth. Success is about progress, not perfection. You need to act now, even if it's messy. Confidence grows with experience, not ideal circumstances. You keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, or I'm not qualified. Your mind listens to what you say. If you keep feeding it negativity, your confidence will continue to erode. Change your self-talk to be your biggest cheerleader, not your harshest critic. You're so afraid of failing that you don't even try. Listen, failure isn't the enemy, it's the teacher. Every failure is a lesson that sharpens your skills, builds your character, and makes you more confident the next time you try. If your confidence is based on what others think of you, you will never have true confidence. Others' opinions are out of your control. Instead of seeking validation from the outside, focus on validating yourself. Your self-worth should never depend on anyone else. The moment you start comparing your progress to someone else's, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. People's journeys are different, and your path to success is unique to you. When you compare, you forget how far you've come and how much potential you have. You'll never grow in your comfort zone. Confidence comes from stepping out of your comfort zone, taking risks, and doing what scares you. Embrace discomfort. It's where growth and confidence live. When you blame others for your lack of confidence, you give up your power. If you're not where you want to be, take responsibility for it. Take control of your actions, your choices, and your future. Confidence comes when you realize you're the one in the driver's seat. Without clear goals, you're wandering aimlessly. Set small, achievable goals that you can measure. Every time you achieve a goal, no matter how small, it will give you a confidence boost and propel you toward your larger vision. Waiting for perfection is one of the most common mistakes that can really hold you back. We often tell ourselves that we need everything to be just right before we can take that first step or make a move. But the truth is, nothing will ever be perfect. There will always be obstacles, there will always be uncertainties, and there will always be setbacks. If you wait for everything to align perfectly before you act, you'll be waiting forever. Confidence isn't about everything being perfect, it's about acting even when things aren't exactly how you want them to be. It's about knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way and that every experience, good or bad, is a step toward growth. Perfection is an illusion, action is real. Don't get stuck in the trap of waiting for everything to be flawless. Start now. Take those steps and let your confidence build as you go along. Listening to negative self-talk is one of the most dangerous traps you can fall into. It's like having an internal enemy that never shuts up, telling you that you're not good enough, that you're too old, too young, not smart enough, not talented enough. The problem is, this negative voice becomes so familiar, you start to believe it. And when you start believing those lies, you begin to shrink. Your confidence takes a nosedive and you start to live your life according to these self-imposed limitations. The truth is, most of what you tell yourself is not true. The negative voice in your head doesn't know you the way you do, and it certainly doesn't know what you're capable of. It's the voice of fear, doubt, and insecurity trying to hold you back from reaching your potential. But here's the secret: you have the power to control that voice. You can choose what you listen to. You can choose to let the negative self-talk run your life, or you can choose to challenge it, reject it, and replace it with positive, empowering thoughts. The key to overcoming negative self-talk is awareness. You must become aware of those limiting beliefs as they arise, because if you don't recognize them, they'll continue to undermine your confidence. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, stop and ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have to support this belief? Most of the time, you'll realize that it's not true at all. In fact, it's often a distortion of reality. Then, instead of feeding that negative voice, start feeding yourself with positive affirmations. Tell yourself that you are capable, that you have what it takes, and that you can handle challenges as they come. Replace the thoughts that limit you with thoughts that encourage and empower you. When you make this shift, your confidence will begin to grow because your mind will no longer be your enemy, it will be your ally. Understand that this won't happen overnight. Overcoming negative self-talk is a practice, a daily habit that you need to cultivate. But every time you challenge that negative voice and replace it with something positive, your confidence will get stronger. And the more your confidence grows, the less power those negative thoughts will have over you. Don't let negative self-talk steal your potential. You have greatness within you, but it starts with what you believe. When you start believing in your own worth, your own abilities, and your own potential, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. Confidence doesn't come from what others think of you, it comes from what you think about yourself. So change the story you're telling yourself and watch how quickly your confidence rises. Avoiding failure is one of the most subtle yet powerful ways to kill your confidence. We've all heard the expression, failure is not an option, but the truth is, failure isn't just an option, it's a necessary part of success. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count. It's not failure that holds them back, it's the fear of failure that does. If you are avoiding failure at all costs, you're not really living. You're playing it safe, sticking to what you know, never stretching beyond your comfort zone. Failure is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. You see, every failure is simply a lesson in disguise. When you fail, you learn what doesn't work. You learn what to do better next time. Failure gives you experience, and experience builds wisdom, and wisdom builds confidence. Without failure, you wouldn't have the knowledge and resilience you need to succeed in the long run. It's only through failure that you'll discover the depth of your true potential. Now, I'm not suggesting you go out and fail on purpose or that you should take reckless chances. No, what I'm saying is that you can't let the fear of failure paralyze you into inaction. You must take risks. You must try even when you're not sure it will work out. Yes, there will be setbacks. Yes, you will make mistakes. But the key is not to let those mistakes define you. Learn from them, grow from them, and keep moving forward. If you're afraid to fail, you're also afraid to succeed, because you can't succeed without taking some chances, making mistakes, and failing along the way. But each time you get back up and keep going, your confidence grows. Confidence is built on the courage to fail, the courage to try again, and the courage to keep pressing forward when things get tough. Every failure is another opportunity to prove to yourself that you're stronger than you think, that you have what it takes to keep going. The people who avoid failure end up living in a state of stagnation. They miss out on opportunities because they're too afraid of what might go wrong. But those who face failure head-on, who take the risks, learn from the mistakes, and keep moving forward are the ones who succeed. And the more they succeed, the more confident they become. If you want to build real confidence, you need to stop seeing failure as something negative. Start seeing it as an essential part of the journey. When you fail, you grow. When you grow, you become more capable, more knowledgeable, and yes, more confident. The road to success is paved with failures, but it's also paved with courage. If you truly want to become the person you're meant to be, you must face failure with a mindset of growth, not fear. The more you embrace this, the more unstoppable you will become. Being overly dependent on others' approval is one of the most insidious confidence killers there is. It's like trying to sail a ship on a stormy sea, constantly adjusting your course based on the changing winds of other people's opinions. You begin to live your life in response to what others think, and your self-worth becomes tied to their approval. You start to make decisions not based on what you believe is right, but based on what you think will get you the validation or praise you crave. This is a dangerous game to play, because no matter how much you try to please others, it will never be enough. There will always be someone who has a different opinion, a new standard, or an expectation that you can never meet. And the moment you start depending on others for your validation, you lose control over your own life. Here's the hard truth: no one's opinion should define your worth. Not your boss, not your friends, not even your family. Your value isn't determined by the praise or criticism you receive from others. It's determined by what you believe about yourself, by the standards you set for yourself. When you let others dictate your self-esteem, you will always be at their mercy. They become the ones who control your happiness, your confidence, and your direction in life. But the moment you begin to validate yourself and trust your own judgment, that's when true confidence begins to take root. Too many people spend their lives seeking approval from others, living for the next compliment, the next well done. The problem is, these external validations are fleeting. They come and go, and you're left feeling empty once the excitement fades. It's like chasing a mirage in the desert. You think you're getting closer, but the more you chase it, the further away it gets. External validation is not a solid foundation for confidence. It's unstable, unpredictable, and ultimately unsatisfying. Confidence, on the other hand, comes from within. It comes from the quiet knowledge that you're doing your best, that you're aligned with your own values, and that you're making decisions that are right for you, regardless of what others may think. When you stop looking to others for approval, you begin to take ownership of your life. You start to make choices based on your own convictions, your own vision, and your own purpose. That's when you start building real, lasting confidence. It's important to realize that you can't control what others think. You can't control how they perceive you, what they expect from you, or how they respond to your actions. But you can control how you think about yourself, how you respond to challenges, and how you define success. The less you seek approval from others, the more you empower yourself to live on your own terms. You become your own biggest cheerleader, not waiting for others to give you permission to succeed. Stop making your confidence contingent on the approval of others. The next time you catch yourself seeking external validation, ask yourself, why am I letting someone else's opinion affect how I feel about myself? Once you start to value yourself for who you are, for your unique strengths, and for your ability to learn and grow, you will no longer be dependent on others to feel good about yourself. And that's when the magic happens. You become free, you become unstoppable. And your confidence grows stronger with every step you take because you know that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion, it's rooted in your own belief in yourself. Comparing yourself to others is one of the most destructive habits you can form, and yet it's something many of us do without even realizing it. You look at someone else's success, their achievements, their lifestyle, and suddenly you feel like you're falling short. You begin to think, why am I not as far along as they are? What am I missing? The problem with this mindset is that it focuses you on everything you don't have instead of what you do have. It takes your attention away from your own journey and puts it on someone else's. And as soon as you start comparing, you set yourself up for discouragement and self-doubt. Here's the truth: you will never be someone else. You are you, and they are them. Their journey is not your journey. Their challenges are not your challenges. And their success has nothing to do with your potential for success. The only thing that should matter to you is your own progress, your own growth, and your own development. When you compare, you forget about all the incredible things you've accomplished. You forget that you have your own unique skills, talents, and opportunities. You lose sight of the fact that your life, your circumstances, and your path are completely different from theirs, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's exactly how it should be. When you compare, you're measuring your progress against someone else's highlight reel. You see their success, their polished image, their achievements, but you don't see the struggles they've gone through, the failures they've faced, or the sacrifices they've made. Everyone has their own set of challenges, and what you're seeing is just a small part of their story. It's unfair to compare your behind the scenes with someone else's public success. Life is not a race, and there is no prize for getting to the finish line first. Success is a personal journey, and the only real measure of progress is how far you've come from where you started. Instead of comparing, focus on your own growth. Look at how much you've learned, how much you've overcome, and how much further you've come. Progress, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. Take time to recognize your wins and acknowledge that every step you take is building a stronger, more confident version of yourself. When you focus on your own path, you begin to appreciate the unique value that you bring to the world. You start to see your own worth, and your confidence grows because you realize that no one else can offer what you offer. It's also important to recognize that the journey to success is never linear. Just because someone else appears to be further along doesn't mean they have it all figured out. Success is full of ups and downs, of wins and losses. While it may seem like others are moving faster, they too are facing challenges and setbacks that you don't see. Comparing yourself to them only distracts you from your own potential. Instead of measuring your progress by their achievements, measure it by the progress you've made in your own life. When you stop comparing and start focusing on yourself, you take back control of your journey. You stop feeling inadequate because you're no longer measuring your worth against someone else's standards. Your confidence grows because you realize that your path is uniquely yours and you're doing just fine on your own. Every person's journey to success is different, and there's no one-size-fits-all formula for how long it should take or what it should look like. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving forward and that you continue to improve step by step. So let go of the comparisons. Stop looking at someone else's progress and thinking that you're falling short. Focus on your own growth. Celebrate your achievements and recognize that the only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. When you do that, your confidence will not only grow, it will thrive. Staying in your comfort zone may feel safe, but let me tell you something, it's a trap. It's the place where you remain stagnant, where you settle for what you know, never challenging yourself or pushing beyond your current limits. The comfort zone is the enemy of growth. It's a place where everything is predictable, familiar, and easy, but it's also where potential goes to die. The truth is, if you want to build real confidence and create the life you dream of, you have to be willing to step out of that comfort zone and embrace discomfort. Most people stay in their comfort zone because it feels safe. They avoid risks, they play it safe, they stick with what they know. But the problem is, nothing grows in that safe space. Confidence doesn't grow in comfort, it grows when you're challenged, when you push yourself to do things you've never done before. When you stay comfortable, you avoid the very experiences that build confidence, the failures, the setbacks, the lessons learned from trying new things. Every time you take a step outside your comfort zone, you're building your confidence because you're proving to yourself that you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. Think about it, every time you try something new, there's a moment of discomfort. There's the fear of failure, the fear of looking foolish, the fear of the unknown. But here's the secret, those feelings are not signs of weakness. They're signs that you're growing. You see, the more you do something that makes you uncomfortable, the less it will scare you the next time. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about taking action in the face of fear. It's about doing it anyway, despite the fear. And with every step you take outside your comfort zone, you'll find that the fear doesn't hold the power it once did. You might be wondering, but what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out well? Let me tell you, this failure isn't the end, it's just a lesson in disguise. Every time you fail, you learn. Every time you step out of your comfort zone and fall short, you gain experience that will serve you in the future. It's in those moments of discomfort and failure that you build resilience, character, and most importantly, confidence. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to fail. And that means stepping outside the bubble of comfort and venturing into the unknown. Only then can you discover what you're truly capable of. You see, the moment you stop staying inside your comfort zone is the moment you start to experience real growth. You start to see new possibilities, new opportunities, and new strengths you didn't even know you had. Every time you push through your fears and try something new, you open doors to a bigger, bolder, and more fulfilling life. You stop being a spectator in your own life and become the creator of it. Think about the great achievers, the ones who've accomplished remarkable things. They didn't get there by staying in their comfort zone. They got there by taking risks, by stepping into the unknown, and by embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. It's easy to stay comfortable, to live a life of routine, but nothing extraordinary ever comes from playing it safe. If you want to create extraordinary results, you have to be willing to do the extraordinary things that others aren't willing to do. You have to be willing to step outside the comfort zone and face the challenges head on. Here's the bottom line: the more you stay in your comfort zone, the more you limit your potential. You're limiting your growth, your achievements, and your confidence. But when you start pushing yourself to take risks, to do the things that scare you, you open up a world of possibilities. Confidence isn't something that comes by avoiding challenges. It comes from facing them, overcoming them, and growing through them. So step outside your comfort zone today. Take the leap, face the fear, and watch as your confidence grows in ways you never thought possible. The best version of yourself is waiting just outside that comfort zone. Not taking responsibility for your life and your actions is one of the quickest ways to rob yourself of your power and confidence. It's easy to fall into the habit of blaming others, circumstances, or even fate for where you are in life. You look around and say, it's not my fault they held me back, or I didn't have the same opportunities, but here's the truth: no one is going to change your life but you. Until you take full responsibility for your choices, your actions, and your results, you will remain stuck in the same place, playing the victim rather than the victor. When you don't take responsibility, you give away your power. You let external factors determine your future. You tell yourself that it's someone else's fault that you're not where you want to be, or that things would be different if only the world was fair. But that mindset keeps you powerless. It keeps you from taking the necessary steps to create the life you want. You're handing over control to someone or something else, and in doing so, you're denying yourself the ability to change your circumstances. When you blame, you're surrendering your ability to create solutions and move forward. You're saying, it's out of my hands, and that's where growth stops. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that happens. It means accepting that no matter the external circumstances, you have the power to respond, to make decisions, and to take action. It means recognizing that your choices, both big and small, shape your future. When you own your actions, when you take full responsibility for where you are, you gain the power to make different choices, to change your trajectory, and to build the life you want. Responsibility is about ownership of your time, your energy, your choices, and the outcomes of those choices. The moment you take responsibility for your life, your confidence begins to rise. Why? Because you no longer feel helpless or at the mercy of others. You understand that you are in control. The good news is, when you take responsibility, you can change things. You can learn, you can grow, and you can take action in the right direction. When you stop blaming others or making excuses, you start looking for solutions. You stop waiting for someone to hand you a better life and start creating it yourself. Taking responsibility also means recognizing that you are the author of your own story. You are the one who writes the chapters. and you are the one who chooses the path you take. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to learn from it, to use it as a stepping stone, or you can let it keep you down. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often the ability to take responsibility for their lives, no matter the setbacks. Those who rise up after a fall are the ones who take full responsibility and don't let life's challenges dictate their future. It's important to recognize that taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean that you won't make mistakes or that everything will go according to plan. What it means is that you own the results of your actions, good and bad. When you make a mistake, you learn from it. When something doesn't work out, you find a new way. When things get tough, you keep going. That's the power of responsibility. It enables you to transform setbacks into opportunities and challenges into lessons. On the other hand, avoiding responsibility leaves you stuck in the same cycle. When you blame others or make excuses, you stay in a place of helplessness. You prevent yourself from moving forward because you don't believe you have the power to change anything. When you take responsibility, you step into your own power. You realize that everything you need to succeed is already within you. You just have to take control and take action. So start today by taking full responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for where you are, where you want to go, and the steps you need to take to get there. Stop waiting for someone else to change things for you. You are the one who holds the key to your success. When you take responsibility, your confidence will grow because you'll know that your future is in your hands and no one else's. Not setting goals is like getting into a car without knowing where you're going. You might move, you might drive for a while, but without a destination in mind, you'll wander aimlessly. Setting goals isn't just a good idea, it's essential to creating the life you want. Without goals, you're simply reacting to life's circumstances instead of actively shaping your own future. You can't expect to get to where you want to be if you don't have a clear picture of where that is. A goal isn't just a wish, it's a blueprint, a roadmap that guides your actions, your decisions, and your mindset. When you fail to set goals, you give up the opportunity to live with purpose and direction. You become a passive participant in your own life instead of a proactive creator. Too many people think they don't need goals or that they can figure it out as they go along. But let me tell you, you can't leave your success to chance. If you want to grow, if you want to accomplish something meaningful, you need to have a clear sense of what you're striving for. Goals give you a reason to wake up in the morning. They give you something to work towards, something to aim for. Without them, you lack the focus and drive to move forward with intention. When you set goals, you're telling yourself that you are worthy of achieving something great. You're making a commitment to yourself to be better, to do better, and to strive for more. Goals give you a reason to stretch beyond your comfort zone, to push past your limits, and to face challenges with determination. They keep you from falling into complacency, from getting comfortable with mediocrity. Goals are the fuel that keep the fire of ambition burning inside you. Without them, that fire fades, and what's left is a sense of stagnation, a life that lacks meaning or momentum. Here's the thing, if you don't set goals, you'll never know how far you could have gone. You'll never know what you could have achieved because you didn't have a clear direction. It's easy to let life pass you by, to get caught up in the routine and the busyness of day-to-day life, but that's not living, it's just existing. And nobody wants to simply exist. You have a purpose, a potential that's waiting to be unlocked, and setting goals is the first step in unlocking it. You don't have to set unrealistic, gigantic goals right away. Start small. The key is to have something to aim for. Break your larger dreams into manageable goals that you can work towards every day. These small, everyday actions build momentum. As you hit one goal after another, your confidence increases, and you start to believe that you're capable of accomplishing even bigger things. Setting goals forces you to measure your progress. It forces you to evaluate where you are, where you want to go, and how you plan to get there. Without this evaluation, you're just going through the motions without any clear sense of direction. Another benefit of goal setting is that it makes it easier to prioritize. With goals in mind, it becomes much easier to say no to distractions, to cut out the things that don't serve your greater purpose. Goals help you focus your time and energy on what really matters. They help you make decisions that align with your values and aspirations, and they give you the clarity you need to stay on track, even when life gets tough. But let's be honest, goal setting isn't always easy. It's easy to get excited about a new goal, to dream big and set lofty ambitions. But the real test comes when you face obstacles, when things don't go as planned. That's when most people give up or lose motivation. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people refuse to let setbacks stop them. They adjust their approach, reevaluate their strategy, but they don't give up on their goals. They know that success isn't a straight line. It's a series of detours, adjustments, and lessons learned along the way. The key to staying committed to your goals is to be flexible in your approach, but unshakable in your commitment. The world will throw obstacles at you, but if you stay focused on your goals, you'll find a way around them. You'll learn from your failures, adapt, and keep moving forward. Success comes from the constant pursuit of your goals, not from the outcome. It's the journey that builds you, that strengthens your confidence and resilience. So if you're not setting goals, you're simply floating through life, reacting to whatever comes your way. But if you start setting clear, actionable goals, you take control of your future. You move from being a passenger to being the driver of your own life. Set goals, make a plan, take action, and watch how your life transforms. The person who sets goals and relentlessly pursues them will accomplish far more than the person who drifts along without direction. Your goals are the foundation for everything you want to achieve, and the sooner you start setting them, the sooner you'll begin to see real progress.